Here K is for sulfate of potash. Sulfate of potash, for example, and P is sulfur phosphate. Applied at two levels, that is 0 and 1 for a potato crop. Now, considering RBD, the yield from first block where sulfate of potash and sulfate of sulfur phosphate absent, it is 23 maybe in kilogram or maybe in different units of weights, and say in block first when we apply only sulfate of potash, the productivity, that is yield, come out as 25, and when we apply only sulfur phosphate, that is yield is 22, and when we apply both type of chemicals, the yield say come out, it is 38 in block first. Now in block second, when we apply only sulfate of potash, sulfur phosphate, it is 40, when both absent, that is 26, and K only when it is 36. So when Kp is, that is both present, that is 38, for example. In third block, when both absent, 29, when only K, it is 20, when Pk, it is say 30, when P, it is only 20. And in fourth, when both chemicals present, yield is 34, when K is present only 31, P 24, 1 28. Now, so 23 is yield when neither sulfate of potash or sulfur phosphate applied. When only yield 25 is when only sulfate of potash we apply, and yield is 22 when only sulfur phosphate present, that is sulfate of potash is absent, and 38 is yield when what type of chemical we apply for a particular crop. You may consider potato, tomato, whatever we want. Similarly, here it is only sulfur phosphate is available, both are absent. Here only sulfate of potash, here both chemicals, and so this is we apply in RBD. Now for the analysis, to know the, for example, if we test the homogeneity, our null hypothesis, for example, is to test the data is homogeneous. Suppose this is our hypothesis, the data is homogeneous with respect to blocks and the treatments. Now by applying Yates method, we calculate grant other factors, for example correction factor for the analysis. Correction factor is given by formula G square over n, and this is 0. We round off all these values by taking y is equal to say 29. Our correction factor come out as g square over n, that is grand total is 0. When we reduce all these values by taking y is equal to 29 and then we can apply Yates method, then we get g square over n is equal to 0, because there is g is 0 for this experiment. Then we write total sum of squares. Total sum of squares is given by formula yi square minus correction factor. I takes value for treatment and for blocks. So this is 660 for this experiment. It is 0, that is 660. Now block sum of square is here 1 by 4 sum over j, that is bj square minus cf. This is 930 over 4 minus 0, that is 930 over 4. This is 232.50. And treatment sum of squares one by 4 summation I ti square minus cf. It is 198. And error sum of square, it is total sum of squares minus treatment sum of square, say SST, or sum of squares due to blocks, and that will be, that is 229.50. By putting these values in analysis of variance, that is ANOVA table, and calculating f, and then we compare calculated value of f with tabulated value. So when we write analysis of variance table, here we write source of variation, say blocks, here treatments, KP and KP, and here we write error. Here we write degrees of freedom, sum of square, mean sum of square, and the value of f, variance ratio f. For this, blocks, there are 4 blocks, so degrees of freedom, that is 4 minus 1, 3, and there are 4 treatments, 3, so 1, for this degree of freedom P for 1, and this is for 1. We divide 3 into 3 parts, and so total here it is 16, so it is 15 total. Sum of squares come out, it is, I am directly writing MSS, that is it is 77.5, 66.0, 100, 49 and 49 and 25.5, and the value of F for this is 3.04, 2.59, 3.92, 1.92, 1.92. And tabulated, we compare with tabulated at 5% or 1%. Tabulated it is 3.86, 3.86, 5.12, 5.12, 5.12, 6.99, 6.99, 10.56, 10.56, 10.56. And now in all the cases the calculated F is less than tabulated value of F at 5% or 1% level of significance. So in all the cases there is no significant main, no difference in significant main or interaction effects present in the experiment, because our null hypothesis here it is accepted. Calculated F is less than tabulated F in all the cases. So there is no significant difference here. Now any question? Thank you.